This video covers everything we did in class today on Thursday, March 17th. The first thing you need to do is pause this video and complete the Do Now in today's class kick. The Do Now for today reviews multiplying and dividing, fractions, and mixed numbers. If you need support checking your work on the Do Now, you can look at the notes that were posted in the main folder for today. At this point, you should have attempted the Do Now. We're going to move on to the main lesson for today. So again, if you need support with the Do Now, please pause this video and look at the posted notes. Today, we focused on reviewing solving equations written in this form, where we have a factor on the outside of parentheses and we're adding or subtracting two terms inside the parentheses. To start, we drew a hanger diagram to help us review what this equation means. We know that 6, which I'm drawing in the box here on the left, is equal to two groups. Those two groups each contain x minus 3. So 6 is equal to two groups of x minus 3. I drew my diagram like this. Another way that we could draw the diagram is called a tape diagram, when we simply draw one box, and that one box is equal to a total of 6. We know that each piece of that box is equal to x minus 3. And so we have two groups of x minus 3. We can see that we're splitting up the total value of 6 into two groups of x minus 3. Now, I know that if I'm splitting 6 in half, each of those groups has to be equal to 3. That means that x minus 3 equals 3, and x has to be 6, because 6 minus 3 equals 3. This is how we can solve using drawings and diagrams to reason about the equations. But we also have two more formal methods of solving. The first is we can divide both sides by the same term. I'm going to draw a line underneath my equal sign just to remind me that I have my left and right side of my balanced equation. I'll start by dividing both sides of my equation by the same number. In this case, I'm going to divide both sides of my equation by 2. The reason is because I'm doing what's drawn in this diagram here with the orange arrows. I'm splitting up 6 into two equal groups of 3, and I'm splitting up my x minus 3's into two equal groups, with one group of x minus 3 in each box. If I divide two groups of the same thing by 2, I simply end up with x minus 3, because I'm splitting my total amount in half. X minus 3 is equal to 6 divided by 2, which is 3. Now I know that x minus 3 equals 3, and I can use my inverse operation of subtraction, which is addition, to add 3 to both sides. If I subtract 3 and add 3, those cancel out, and I simply end up with x by itself on the left side. On the right side, I have 3 plus 3, which is equal to 6. Now, the other version of this equation asks me to solve by distributing first, which means I need to give the 2 to both terms inside of my equation. I end up with 2x, because I'm multiplying 2 times x, minus 6, because 2 times 3 is equal to 6. 2 times x minus 6 equals 6. Now, my goal here is to get 2x by itself. So I'm going to add 6 to both sides of my equation. When I add 6 to both sides of my equation, minus 6 plus 6 cancels out, and I end up with 2x equals 12. I know that I'm multiplying x times 2, which means I'll conduct my inverse operation and divide both sides by 2. Because if I divide both sides by 2, I end up with x by itself, and on the right side of the equation, I end up with x equals 6. Notice that both of these methods produced the same answer, x equals 6. We simply used different strategies. Your job is to complete slide 3, where you will do the same exact thing for a different equation. I suggest pausing this video to take these notes or returning to these notes as you're working on 3 to help you. As always, if you have questions, make sure that you send me an email.